Alright, are we doing this? Do you see? Hey, how you doing, guy? Not really here. I wish I could get rid of you. I could figure that out. Alright, let us... Okay, we're doing this. Everybody, welcome to Candlestick Park. We are here. As you can see, we're at the park. Over there is the point. That's the parking lot behind me. It's hard to tell where I am because I'm in VR, but let's fly to where I am right now. I probably need to do brakes, control, spacebar, wrong keyboard. Seriously, this is one of the most complicated things I've ever done right now. So we've got how many computers working? We've got, I probably could have pre-spun the, I don't know how this, how do I get that screen out of the way? Okay, we're flying. I gotta do a couple things at the same time. Well, we're going this way, so let's... Alright, that's gone now. Alright. Alright, let's head over to Candlestick Park. Alright, so here we are at warning, climb angle too low. Let's get this one, guys. Alright, we are taking off at San Francisco Airport and we are heading to Candlestick Park. So, while I've been here, some interesting things have happened. Oh, I want music. Now I got this vibe going. We're still streaming. We're doing alright. This seemed okay. Yeah, this seems okay. So, at Candlestick Park today, forgot some water. And, I didn't bring enough water, and, so, I went to go see if the water fountain worked. The water fountain didn't work. And there's a porta potty, I mentioned that last time. So the water fountain doesn't work. So I asked a security guard, who's a security guard on contract, from the California State Parks. There's no actual state park police, park rangers here, just security guards on contract. So I asked him about the water situation, and he says, yeah, the pipes are broken, they haven't gotten fixed, I let the maintenance guy know, and the water keeps rising in the pipes, and he's telling about the seawater rise and the K rails. Man, fascinating. So then I go to I'm trying to find the nearest grocery store. There's like no grocery store. We're in a food desert here. The liquor store's not open till whatever. So I'm like, okay, so I go to the park. This guy starts freaking out because he sees my camera and he's like, the kids at the park, and I'm like, no, man, I'm filming a documentary. Started talking to him, and he's like, yeah, he's like telling me he's a locally got pushed out and gentrification and man, all this good stuff from this guy real fast. So I filled up my water at the water fountain. Came back, couldn't find the grocery store, whatever. And I get back here, and there's these tourists coming by. There's American tourists, and they get out. Oh, there's people getting Ubers, Lyft drivers dropping people off with like REI backpacks to go hiking at this urban state park. It's incredible. And then you've got, okay, so then these other American tourists, old elderly couple walking by, they're saying, man, they're glad. She said, one of them said, I'm glad this isn't a golf course. You've got this fence around this transitional stage place. You've got these old signs talking about rehabilitation and, oh man, it's just one with those for the airport, maybe. Okay, that's not part of the plan. Okay, so here we are. We're approaching Candlestick Park from the south. So I'm over there. I'm at like where are we? We're like we're like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock is where we are right now at the parking lot. There's the point. There's the the crane and lifts. So this is the bottom south edge. Now, what makes it interesting is I'd like to film from, I think, this parking lot down here. We're gonna. All right, let me slow down. All right, so we are now approaching the south side of Candlestick Park. This is the bay where the hydrofoils, kite surfers, and the new modern sports with all their modern equipment. And okay, so this is the south side of the park. So this is where the Candlestick Park starts. So I was hoping, I was thinking it would be nice if I could, drive from this parking lot right here and connect to the other area over there. So this is the park. We're right now over Candlestick Park, and this is the entrance. We're looking at the subway. This is the old part. It's not the stadium's not here anymore. We're gonna do a couple passes around here, but I want to show you where we are now. This is the fun part. This is the beauty of this filmmaking. This is innovative. We're doing something I've never seen anybody do. This is it. That's me right there. So we're right there right now in that parking lot. That's my parking space right there. All right. So this is a parking lot over here. This is where we walked the other day. We walked on this path over here. So I think we started over, we started over there, and then and I started the second stream from right here. You can't see the dock, it's underwater, it's an error in the game, but whatever. So I was standing on that concrete pad right there on the tip right there. It's definitely super low tide. Oh, is tide in this game? Okay, that's interesting. Let's do a second circle around. So we were over at this pad watching the fishermen do the fish in the bathroom and stuff like that, okay? So then what we did was we walked. This was the dirt that we went off-roading right there. And we're walking over here, walking over here, walking over here. We had a good time. We made all the way around this bend. When we got here, we met those people. And then this is the narrow, like almost an isthmus or something. Like, I know that word from Catalina. And so we came over here. That's where the Indian people were partying. And at that campsite right there. And then we came over here. That's the halibut. We saw the halibut right there. Okay. Boom. While we're here. So this is not here. This is an error in the old game. It's fascinating because this has been gone for almost 10 years, I think, since 2015. We're in a, oh man, I can't remember what the word it used. It's a forgotten place, transitional phase. These trees aren't here. Okay, so we have the stadium. What once was profitable, which was funding this town right here. The people in those houses, what happened to them? Where did they go? They got promised to go somewhere else. They got moved somewhere else. It's another story. None of these houses are here, right in this little section. This is the town I've been talking about. This struggling town. Especially the houses in this next section from Hunters Point. This is Yosemite Slaw. Okay, so where should I start? Let's go to where we first started. And we'll make our way and do the whole trip. Let's start from the top. Okay, so what you're gonna see here is old imagery, but it's gonna show the transition to the new housing that we saw. We have this old, struggling neighborhood here. I can't even describe what I've seen here. It's just the school, the school here, oh my God, this one section, if we can drive through, we'll drive through here. So this is the neighborhood. These are all the brand new houses. This is the park at the end of the street there. This is where I parked. This is where I built the rig, right in the parking lot. You can see the beginning stages of construction here. Oh man, I'm starting to get a little sick already. Okay, so we have the port, the crane, the everything. The old building over there. All right, let's go this way. We have the radiological. It's a radiological building. So they had to disconnect the rehab of this with the housing over there because it was taking too long. We've been here for 20 years. They've been doing this. This isn't going to happen in 20. This is 4 decades. This is going to go on, maybe even more. So we have Yosemite Slaw here. Okay, so now we have actual. So this is separated. This Hunters Point behind me, separated from Candlestick. Yosemite Slaw is Candlestick. This is actual territory. The people that were at the $18 million RV park there, they all went over to there. So they're over there, and now this neighborhood over here is dangerous, and I'm scared to park my car here to go to see the Yosemite Slaw here, but I really want to check this out because this is part of the Candlestick development. Okay, so we come back over here. To get here, you'd have to drive. You have to drive through this sketchy neighborhood here, across here, through this industrial section here. Oh man. Over here. Man, this place is so weird. Then you come down through this town that's been shut down because it's like Echo Park but without Dodger Stadium. Okay. We're gonna drive this, but you really, it's something to see it from the air. And then you have the old $18 million RV park they built. Not this RV park, this is legit, it's still here. And then they gave up on that. So this is Candlestick Park. And you can see how they want to take away and the potential and barriers and fence. Okay, guys, I'm getting a little. I turned the resolution up, so I've gotten a little bit of a latency going on. So I just need you guys to see what this looks like from above. Let me gain some altitude, and we can see. So you see all that space unused and getting pushed out. What could be, what the potential time delayed, everything's concept. It's too much to talk about in a couple minutes. I mean, even in a couple hours, how do you even begin to talk about this stuff in a effective way? It's just, you see what's here, what exists now, what could be, what more, the potential of connecting. We could connect all the way. This could be one contiguous path all the way through this whole thing. Instead, we're left with sections. We have the Yosemite Slaw separated from this. Obviously, we know what this should be. Why is there no camping? No Camp 4? I don't understand. Maybe I should land. Let me land and take a break. Yeah! Okay, there's the bathroom. It's closed. There's a handicap. That's the parking spot I parked in last time. Alright, here we are. We made it. I still don't know brakes. Brakes. Spacebar. Control. Brake. I don't know brakes. I haven't programmed this joystick. No rocks. Oh, okay. Yes! Okay, I'm literally gonna park. I'm where that tree is. It's not there. This is. No whammies. Oh, whammies! I mean, I was there. That's where I am. That's where I am right now. So cool. This is amazing. I mean, what's the potential for this? I mean, from like, I don't even know. What could we do with this? This is just like, I mean, I just feel like the potential for this type of filmmaking is just absolutely extraordinary. I don't really understand what to do with it, but it's super cool. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, I probably can do it. Should I try? Alright, let's try. Yoo! Hey guys, touchdown! Gross! Oh shit! I don't know how do I spin the rotor up? I can't remember. How do I get out of here? Maybe we should get some shots. Let's just get some B-roll. Yeah, so that's where they put the RVs for a bit. There's something like $18 million on that. You can see it on Google. And then just what is going on? Why haven't you done anything? So this is the bay where the kite surfers and... Hey bro. What do you think about for lunch later? I mean, that's the thing Sam Altman's like, I can solve AGI, and then the question is, what do you want for lunch after? So cool. When I started taking my flight lessons, I sent it up to my flight instructor. He's like, why do you want to learn to be a pilot? I want to film. He's like, well, you're going to need a commercial, but you can't do that. I'm like, oh. This is filming while flying, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think I went to the National Test Pilot School? Ask them what's going on. They told me the class cost $999,000. I was like, that's awesome. They're like, yeah, most of the time it's like governments pay for that stuff. Man, I would, if you said right now I could go to the National Test Pilot School, I would drop everything I'm doing to do that. Everything. I'd work for, would I work for 10 years for 1 year of test pilot school? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And do whatever you wanted to go to that test pilot school. It's the coolest place. Mojave's amazing. I went in there and the guy gave me, he sat me down at his desk. We talked for like 10, 15 minutes. He treated me like a real person. It was amazing. That man, that pilot, that national test pilot guy, he kind of changed my life. I don't think he knows it, but he did. And it was just like, he treated me for real. And it was like, okay, it's not you can do it. You just need $1 million. Anybody can become a test pilot. You just need Well, not $1,999,000. But like, I get to do it in this. I mean, I tried 10 different airplanes to see which would be the best for this demo. And I tried paraglider, I tried sort of stall craft. This is the park where we were. See, it's under construction. So we were up here. This is all the grass right here. This is where we did the signs. We went on the sign tour. That's where the frame was, down on that walkway down there. So you see, the renovation is possible. The modern stuff is possible. It's a question of balance. And you can see what they did first to get the... okay, so we have... I mean, almost all of that was like what drone height... I mean, drones are 400 feet is what we're allowed to do. And that was mostly at like 400 feet. So now we're just... Here's 1,000. This is what 1,000 feet feels like. Really? I mean, I guess it's more than twice as high as a drone. Do you guys hear the pelican or the seagull? See, that's the thing. I've got the sun on me. I'm breathing the air of where I am. The sky is, if I open up my eyes, the sky is almost identical. It's just, this is the second time I've done this. The first time was a test. Oh no, now my skew is off. Oh. So this is the space, guys. So this is the Naval Shipyard, Hunters Point. Oh, I can yaw so I don't have to roll. Okay. Morgan, you're gonna get good at this one day. There's the point where we were. Artist area. Remember the commercial area they're gonna build over there? It's interesting, they're gonna put the wealthy houses with the good view down there. All while the people down here get nothing. I mean, those houses need so much work. I don't understand why we're not... I mean, you see the potential for the space. That's the houses they all tore down. There's an empty lot right now. That whole neighborhood. I don't remember where they put those people, and they told them they were going to build them houses. It's like African mineral stuff. It's crazy. But it's happening in San Francisco. Hi. Forgot you guys were there. Look at this guy. Are you steering? No, you're not holding anything. I gotta remove you. You're kind of annoying. I can't see out the window. I know, you're annoying me. You don't even talk. I wish we could do multiplayer. So bad. Yo, bro. You got the noise canceling? Why are you wearing the noise canceling one? Whatever. Alright, let's try it. Let's get a good look. Seriously, what am I doing right now? I'm in my car. I've got my backpack invention right here, which is streaming this whole thing. I'm running Microsoft Flight Simulator on a 5070 Ti laptop, which is using like a shit ton of power. Well, compared to my desktop, not as much. When I had my desktop, that was cooking a lot. So I'm using 170 watts to run Microsoft Flight Simulator right now for you guys to know. So I got 170 watts, I got a 40 watt satellite, we're connected via Starlink right now. So we're streaming all the maps and all the information via Starlink We're also broadcasting at the same time via Starlink because we're in a place where there's not very good cell phone reception. We could be doing this anywhere in the world right now. And that's the beauty of what I'm trying to do. So this is Candlestick Park from above. Let's do another circle. Let's get a little wider. Man, Alameda's another conversation. Holy shit, that place is awesome. So they had to disconnect the hazardous area from the easy housing profit area. That area down there is expensive to fix. That area over there is a lot easier to fix, so they're separating it. Woo! Oh, a little break. Shuttle over for a different camera angle. I mean, I've got, you can't see this, but we've got a laptop, a wireless keyboard, a VR headset, a video game, a joystick, we have a phone, we've got a monitor for the backpack, camera. I mean, this is one of the more interesting, I mean, this is just a lot. I did this with my desktop at the airport. That was a good test. This is actually doing it. This is useful. This was way better than, I mean, I could have done this in Google Maps, like Overwatch or Firewatch. It's so good. These mapping skills are so good. See, I'm hearing birds. How many people play video games, play VR video games, and hear birds? So insane. I mean, there's cables everywhere, and this is a complicated thing to do. I mean, it's not crazy. I'm not like coding, but like from a logistics system standpoint, it's pretty real. All right, here we go. This is the shot. Boom. Golden Gate Bridge over there, Candlestick Park here. Ships go? So many questions, Martin. So many questions. Miss Axelrod said, come to school with an original thought. Come back. Your homework is have an original thought. It's wild what a teacher can do. An original thought. Just, if you're busy doing whatever you're doing and you don't try and do something new, nothing happens. Here we are, we just did something together that nobody's probably ever done. Putting pieces together, puzzles together, understanding information, context, technology together. It's not just about the park. It's not just about Santa Monica Airport. It's not just about this neighborhood. It's not just about this gentrification. It's not just about the sea level rise. It's not just about the simulations. It's not just about the Bay model. It's not just about any of this. It's not about the airport. It's about all together. The whole country working together. We have an international airport next to a state park, and I have to go to the city to get water. We have the federal mess over there. Just toxic mess with the federal international airport. Federal toxic Superfund site, state park, city sports and city and people. I think we just, I'm really proud of what we just did. I mean, it's been almost an hour. I wonder what this is going to be like in the future. I mean, the future I see is fascinating. Oh, it's all cropped because I have the stabilization on it. I could have been wider the whole time. Stupid. Stabilization for when I'm moving. Now it's parked. It's a tripod setup. No microphones, no stuff. All my camera gear is everywhere. It's not here. 10:30 call at night from my parents. Holy shit! What it makes. When you're away and you're separate, you realize the chaos that was. Oh my god. What? Tell people they're in danger and nobody cares. What are you guys, what's everyone doing? What are you, you just, do you have any concern about anybody else? Just anybody care about anybody else? committed everything I have to everybody else. Alright, let's continue this. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and the porta potty because there's no water here. California State Park with no water. California's first urban state park with no water. We have an urban state park with no water. Now, California's got a lot of stuff going on. I get it. I get it. But what this could be here. There was revenue, there was building, and then how this all applies to Santa Monica Airport, and what not to do in lessons learned. How not to have this city here for 40 years. Alright. See you later, guys, on the next one.
Here's a full 20-minute live read narrative you can use from the India Basin shoreline that ties together everything you've seen and learned over the last couple of weeks. It flows like a story, starting with place and history, moving through the struggle and lessons, and ending with a vision for the future. I've kept the tone conversational but substantive so it works for your audience without losing the depth. Live script. India Basin, gateway to the past and future. Opening, set the scene. Right now I'm standing here at India Basin Shoreline Park, a place that until recently was just a quick stop for me, 5, maybe 10 minutes with the dog before heading to shoot at the Hunters Point Lookout. Back then I saw granite blocks set into the shore, a calm bit of water, and not much else. But now, after 2 weeks of digging into the history and walking the southern waterfront from here down to Candlestick Point State Recreation Area, this spot feels completely different. This is where the next chapter of the Southeast San Francisco shoreline begins. And it's not starting because of the park itself. It's starting because of transportation, a planned ferry terminal that will plug this shoreline into the rest of the bay. 1. The geographic chain India Basin is the northern end of a waterfront corridor that runs south through Hunters Point Shipyard, Candlestick Point State Recreation Area, and eventually, if the city follows through, a continuous bay trail link to the very tip of Candlestick. I've been to all 3 of these anchor points now. From the Hunters Point Lookout, you see the whole bay, the shipyard below, and you can feel the weight of its industrial past. At Candlestick State Park, you feel the open space, but also the isolation. No bathrooms, no drinking water, and fences where public shoreline could be. Here at India Basin, you can actually feel momentum. Construction crews on site, park landscaping underway, the promise of a ferry. It's the ignition point. The history beneath our feet. This shoreline has layers. Ohlone and other native peoples use this bay for fishing, transport, and seasonal shelter. Archaeological work during any new excavation here should be led by native teams. The way a California State Parks employee told me he'd want his own home park run, with a deep connection to cultural resources, even on a limited budget. In the 1800s, this basin became home to wooden shipbuilding, craftsmen using tools like caulking irons to drive cord into the seams between planks, sealing holes for the schooners and ferries that once defined the bay. Then came steel, warships, and finally the aviation era. Hunters Point became a military shipyard, and nearby facilities worked on aircraft as well. The wood-to-steel transition here mirrors the wood-to-aluminum shift that Santa Monica Airport, KS, saw in aviation, and KSMO could see its own aluminum-to-composite transformation if we play it right. 3. the social story. This is also a story about people and how they've been treated. In World War II, thousands of African Americans came west for shipyard jobs and settled in Bayview Hunters Point. In the 1960s, the Black Panther Party ran free breakfast programs and community survival projects in nearby neighborhoods. Over the decades, redevelopment promises pushed out locals, sometimes with the language of revitalization, sometimes with fences and no access signs. The people who built, lived, and fought here deserve more than being priced out when the view becomes profitable again. 4. The environmental and testing lessons. North of here at Herons Head Park, you've got a living example of toxic to green conversion. It's built right next to the site of the old PG&E Hunters Point power plant, which community activism finally shut down in 2006. That fight was about air pollution, asthma rates, and contamination, and it led to one of the first major industrial removals here. But there's also a darker caution. At Hunters Point Shipyard itself, soil and building testing for radioactive and chemical contamination was falsified. No public results were released for years. Bad testing doesn't just risk health, it stalls projects, extends the life of fences, degrades the site further, and wastes space for decades. In some cases here, we're still fighting PFAS contamination, those forever chemicals linked to firefighting foam. Another parallel for sites like KSMO that have long firefighting histories. The lesson? If you want development to move, you clean it right the first time and keep it transparent. 5. The struggle of the transition. All along this southern shoreline, there's a pattern. Transportation and housing make the profit math work for developers. Parks and cultural spaces are the political sweetener, promised early, delivered late, and often cut back. At Candlestick, early redevelopment plans had far more parkland. Over time, those acres shrank to make room for more housing and commercial space. That's exactly the mistake we have to prevent here, and at KSMO, by locking in park acreage, trails, and public amenities as prerequisites, not afterthoughts. 6. The model we should follow. Use transit as the funding engine. Here it's the ferry. At KSMO, it could be the subway, buses, or even boring tunnel connectors. Tie any commercial or housing entitlements to completion of parks and paths first. Respect and preserve the cultural trades, shipbuilding here, airplane building at KSMO, by weaving them into the new economy. Build for multimodal, eVTOL pads, electric buses, regional trains, bike and walking paths, and coastal links that can handle ground effect seaplanes, hydrofoils, high-speed ferries, think Regent Craft, zero-emission designs, hybrid and hydrogen craft for coast-wide connectivity. NASHA 7, the positive future. If we get it right, this India Basin ferry terminal won't just serve downtown SF. It can be the northern gateway to a California coastal mobility network. Ferry down the peninsula. Transfer to hydrofoil or ground effect craft to Monterey. Hop eVTOL to LA. At the other end, KSMO could be the southern gateway with electric and hydrogen seaplanes linking Marina del Rey to San Diego, Catalina, and the Central Coast. 8. The underground layer. Just like here, any major excavation at KSMO should be an opportunity for archaeological and cultural research, Native American settlements, underground shelters and cold storage pits, World War II era infrastructure. That work should be part of the budget and part of the storytelling, not hidden in an appendix. 9. The closing message. Standing here today, I see the granite blocks, the quiet water, and I imagine ferries, eVTOLs, and bike paths stretching down to Candlestick and beyond. But I also see the history, the native villages, the shipbuilders, the Black Panthers, the locals still here fighting for a place in the future. If we're going to spend billions transforming this shoreline or transforming KSMO in Santa Monica, we have to make sure we don't just replace fences with new fences. The formula is simple. Transit funds it. Parks and paths come first. Housing and profit come only after public promises are met. Respect the people, respect the history, clean it right, connect it all. And California's coast can be linked by air, water, and land in ways we've only just started to imagine. India Basin, gateway to the past and future. When I first pulled in here, It wasn't for research. I was just on my way to Hunters Point Lookout to film, and I stopped for maybe 5 minutes, walked the dog, sat on those big granite blocks, the ones shaped like little staircase chairs. I looked out at the water, thought, nice spot, and moved on. 2 weeks later, I'm back. But I'm standing here with a totally different perspective, because now I've walked the chain from here down through Hunters Point and Candlestick, and I've seen the culture, the history, the promises, and the problems that tie this whole waterfront together. 1. This is the starting line. You can think of India Basin like the top domino. It's the place where the chain of change will start, not because the park alone is special, but because this is where the ferry terminal will be. And transportation? Transportation is what actually gets projects moving. It's what makes the funding work, the timelines real, and the political will line up. You promise a ferry and a connection, and suddenly you've got the energy to redo a shoreline, restore habitats, and lay trails that have been planned for decades. Hazard 2. First-hand proof of the link. The other day I was up the Hunters Point Lookout, and I saw a couple out biking. Half an hour later, I'm here at India Basin, and they ride past me again. That's when I realized people are already linking these spaces in their own ways, even before there's a continuous trail. If they're making that ride now, imagine what it'll be like when the shoreline path is safe, direct, and beautiful the whole way. 3. History under the waterline. Long before the ferry plan, before the shipyard cranes, this was native land. The Ohlone people fished here, gathered here, built seasonal shelters. That connection hasn't gone away. And any new construction here should have native archaeologists and historians leading the work. Then came the shipbuilders. In the 1800s, they were building wooden schooners here, hammering and caulking seams with hemp and pitch. By World War II, the industry had shifted. Wood gave way to steel, and the shipyard to the south became one of the busiest military ports on the West Coast. I can't help but think about the parallel to Santa Monica Airport, wood to steel here, aluminum to composites there. These shifts mark the turning points of both places. 4. The people who built this place. During World War II, thousands of African Americans moved here for shipyard jobs. Bayview Hunters Point became one of the city's strongest black communities. By the 1960s, the Black Panther Party was feeding children, running clinics, and teaching history in nearby neighborhoods. And then, over decades, redevelopment pressure pushed people out. I met a local black business owner recently, runs a shop not far from here, and she told me how important it is to her to stay in the neighborhood where she grew up. She called it my town, my people. That's the kind of voice we have to protect in the next phase of change. 5. Heron's Head and the power plant. Just north of here is Heron's Head Park, a restored wetland with a community eco-center. Right next to it, the site of the old PG&E Hunters Point power plant. That plant spewed pollution into the neighborhood for decades before it was finally shut down in 2006 after relentless community pressure. Heron's Head shows what's possible when contaminated industrial land is reclaimed for public space. But Hunters Point Shipyard shows the cautionary side. Falsified soil tests, PFAS contamination from firefighting foams, years of delay. Bad testing doesn't just stall projects, it keeps fences up and land wasted for decades. 6. Candlestick's warning. Farther south at Candlestick State Park, the story is one of shrinking promises. Early redevelopment plans promised far more parkland than what's on the table now. Over time, that acreage has been chipped away to make room for more housing and commercial projects. And the park space that does exist, no bathrooms, no drinking water, no reason for people to linger. That's the pattern we have to stop here and in Santa Monica. You can't let the parks and paths be phase 4 after the money-making parts are done. They have to be prerequisite 7, the state parks perspective. I had a conversation with a California State Parks employee about whether he'd want the state to manage his own home park. He said yes, because even with limited budgets, state parks has deep connections to native communities and the resources to protect cultural sites. That kind of stewardship is exactly what you need when you're building on land with as much layered history as this. Hashunner 8, the future network. If we get this right, India Basin won't just connect to Candlestick. It'll connect to high-speed ferries, maybe even zero-emission designs from companies like Regent, hydrofoils skimming the coast, ground effect seaplanes linking bay cities in minutes, eVTOL flights connecting to airports like KSMO in Santa Monica, where electric aviation could tie into the Expo line, buses, and even boring tunnel service. This is how you build a California coastal mobility loop, India Basin as the NorCal Gateway, KSMO as the SoCal Gateway. Lessons for KSMO. From what I've seen here, the formula is clear. Transit funds it. Ferry here, subway bus at KSMO. Parks and paths come first. Don't even talk housing until public promises are built and open. Preserve the trades, shipbuilding here, airplane building there, and integrate them into training programs for locals. Use big moves to drive small equity wins, like guaranteeing space and rent protections for local businesses. Research underground history during construction, shelters, native artifacts, wartime infrastructure. Tama 10, closing. Looking out now at the granite blocks, the ripples against the shoreline, I can see both the past and the possible future. If we let this become another decades-long holding pattern, contaminated land, bad testing, broken promises, we lose twice, the land and the trust. But if we lock in the right sequence, transit first, parks and trails next, profit last, we can link California's coast by air, sea, and land while honoring the people and the history that are already here.
We're really excited to be testing the foiling capability of Viceroy prototype. Up until now, we've gotten it through testing on the hull. Today, we're going to be testing the foiling mode. So it's the first time that we're going to be doing it, actually lifting it up out of the water, testing out all the control systems, everything that controls the vehicle and helps keep it in a stable, safe condition at about 1.5 meters above the water.
Yeah, say we do the whole thing and then come back this direction, and then that'll be the best way to float.
TV ready. Data ready. And clear for 15 full transition. Yeah, clear for 16 knots.
Copy, clear 16. Control on condition.
Everybody cross their fingers, cross their toes. All right, here we go. Let's go.
It was such an interesting feeling to be, down in the water like a boat and then just smoothly climb up out of the water, cruising right along, and it's real stable. You can tell taking off from that type of position is going to be just a great experience. After we came back down, we did a high five, fist bump. We were really excited.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
It was a great success.
Go around the room, give me a go if your checklists are complete. Ready for aircraft handover to the pilot for load, starting with controls.
Controls go. CPU go.
Vibes go. Batteries go.
Test DC, aircraft is yours for power up.
And we'll be picking up for the hover out of ground effect, and then we'll send the speed. Here we go, coming up.
Donald Douglas, airplane builder, shows Edsel Ford and Charles Sorensen of the Ford Company one of the new attack bombers being built for Uncle Sam. Similar types are seeing action with the RAF and are said to have a top speed of 350 miles an hour. The auto company is going to manufacture parts for these and other planes to be assembled at big Midwest plants. This is Big Defense News.
Here's how you can wrap it all up for your audience so it flows naturally from what you've just shown them into the vision you want them to leave with, tying Regent, Joby, the Berkut 540, and Douglas aircraft history together into one forward-looking picture. Closing vision. From past runways to future flight paths. You've just seen it, the Regent hydrofoil skimming the water, Joby's eVTOL lifting quietly into the air, the Berkut 540 that was hand-built right in Santa Monica, and the black and white footage of the Douglas aircraft plant with row after row of workers turning raw aluminum into the airplanes that carried us through World War II and beyond. This is our inheritance, not just the machines, but the culture of building that made those machines possible. Here in Santa Monica, that culture is sitting on a piece of land, KSMO, that's about to be transformed. And right here in India Basin, we can see the same story unfolding. An industrial shoreline in transition, the promise of new transit, and the question of whether the people and the history that shaped it will still be part of its future. The future I see, a California coastal mobility loop with two gateways, north, India Basin Ferry and eVTOL hub, linked to hydrofoils, ground effect seaplanes, and a shoreline trail down to Candlestick. South, Santa Monica Airport hub, linking electric aircraft, hydrogen seaplanes from Marina del Rey, and high-speed ferries down the coast. These aren't isolated projects. They're connected by shared values. Transit-first funding models that make parks, trails, and public spaces the first deliverable. Local jobs and training in new trades, just like Douglas once did for aluminum aircraft, and like India Basin could do now for maritime craft. Preservation of cultural and industrial history, shipbuilding here, airplane building there, woven into the design and programming so history isn't just a plaque, it's a living skill. The big shift, India Basin was wood to steel. Santa Monica was aluminum to jet composites. The next shift is composites to clean propulsion, electric hybrid hydrogen, carried by designs that move as seamlessly over water as through the air. What we can build together. If we do it right, you'll be able to leave Santa Monica on an eVTOL, touch down on the water in Marina del Rey, transfer to a hydrofoil, and be in Monterey in under 2 hours. You could fly the coast in a ground effect seaplane, stopping at hubs like India Basin that are tied into ferries, bikes, and shoreline parks. These hubs become places to gather, with trails, markets, cultural spaces, not just transit stops. This is the vision. Take the innovation spirit of Douglas, the craftsmanship of the Berkut builders, the sustainability of Regent and Joby, and anchor it in places like India Basin and KSMO with real community benefit. That's how you connect the California coast, and that's how you make sure the next chapter honors both the people who were here first and the ones who will inherit what we build. All right, folks, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today. It's been a full day, 2 shoots back to back. We started this morning with the VR session, flying and exploring in a completely different medium, using simulation to test ideas and to see the world from new angles. Then this afternoon, we brought it back into the real world here at India Basin, where the water meets the city and the shoreline is in the middle of its own transformation. It's been a good pairing. The VR shoot was about possibility, showing how tech lets us prototype experiences before they're real. And here at India Basin, it's the opposite, a place that's real and physical, with a deep history where you can already see the next chapter starting. We've talked about the layers here, native shoreline, shipbuilders, the Black Panthers, and community life, the years of industrial use, the contamination, the activism, the victories, and the vision that's coming together now around transit, parks, and the water. We've connected that to a bigger California story, shipbuilding here in the north, airplane building in Santa Monica in the south, and a future where clean ferries like hydrofoils, eVTOLs, and even ground effect seaplanes connect the coast. We've seen how the mistakes made at Candlestick, the shrinking parkland, the delays from bad testing, can be avoided if we do it in the right order. Transit first, parks and public space next, housing and profit last. Today was also about perspective, seeing the same granite blocks I stood on weeks ago, but now with a deeper understanding of how they fit into the chain from here to Hunters Point to Candlestick. Even watching that biking couple earlier link Hunters Point to India Basin without any official continuous trail yet, it's a reminder that the human link is already there and the infrastructure needs to catch up. So thank you for being here today, for joining me in both worlds, the virtual and the physical, and for letting me share not just the view, but the history, the challenges, and the possibilities. I hope you're seeing the future I see, and maybe you're starting to picture how these pieces could fit together into something bigger for all of us. All right, that's it for today. Let's end the stream, and I'll see you next time.